Never rehearsed anything.
That shows. I've seen you perform. What would
constitute... Wow. Oh my God.
Got him. Okay, we're back.
Oh my God, we're so locked in today.
Hill to die on. Welcome.
What's going on? I like this sweater you got rolling.
Thank you.
It looks very comfortable.
You know what? Yeah, I am. You also look very comfortable.
Yeah, well,
Greg,
it's my house.
Well, yeah, it is your house. Yeah, this sweatshirt my grandma gave to me, actually.
It does look like a grandma gift,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But
it's
she kind of popped off on that one.
If you can't see it, it's like a brown quilted hooded sweatshirt. It's like fancy sweatshirt.
It is.
It's good because I work from home, so it's nice to have sweatshirts that are like formal sweatshirts versus casual sweatshirts. Yeah. So when I have to be on camera, I can switch into my formal sweatshirt.
I have one formal sweatshirt.
How come you never wear it on our podcast?
Because this isn't formal. I'm on my couch.
Describe your formal sweatshirt to me.
It's like it doesn't have a hood, but it's just a sweater. It's just a nice
it's a sweater.
Yeah. That's what I used on my last clip on Instagram.
Greg's new word for sweater is formal sweatshirt.
Formal sweatshirt. That. Yeah, well, what is a sweater?
What is a sweater if not a formal sweatshirt?
You know?
Yeah. And what are jeans if not formal sweats?
I also want to quickly say what's in my head right now.
Okay, fine.
For the viewer, I'm sitting on the couch with the listener, I should say. I'm sitting on the couch with my foot underneath my leg because my sister one time commented on one of our videos and said, your socks are actually really clean. And I've never had someone say that to me. So now I'm nervous about like my socks and how clean they are. So I don't even want the possibility of them not
I'm just looking
clean.
at my feet. I'm realizing one of my socks is on inside out. So
yeah, but that's a girl thing. Girls
wear socks inside out?
Yes, dude. Jack never wears both socks inside, like right sideways in.
That might just be a Jack thing.
And I'm like, bro, just take the extra 2 seconds. And she's like, it doesn't make a difference. And I'm like, but it does though. It does. It's the weirdest thing. I feel like girls wear mismatched socks a lot.
Yeah,
mismatched socks
I do that
too.
all the time.
I can't, dude. I can't. I've never done it. Never will. Yes, my granddaddy never did it. My dad never did it. Can never do it.
Boys don't have colorful enough socks.
No, we don't. But like, still, it's
black?
Like I would know. Yeah, they're black. Also, the listener and the viewer, Jamie's not here again.
Yeah. It's because we're recording it on the same day.
Yo, what the hell?
I don't want them to think she's been sick for weeks.
She has been sick for weeks. It's been bad.
People are gonna think she like has cancer if we
Jack,
like, yeah, she has like I think a cold.
Yeah, she is.
We miss her.
Yeah, we miss it. We miss her. But it's because we're not recording on the same day.
What are you and Jack gonna do for Valentine's Day?
Don't even know. We're gonna go to the spa on the 18th.
Nice.
That'll
be fun.
18th or 19th.
Is it bathhouse?
It's the King Spa. It's like a bathhouse type of thing. I love it because it's like.
Oh, you've been before.
We went last year around the same day. And they give us like a full body scrub where like you should see the floors of like the because it's just like all your excess skin. It's gross, but it's like you feel like a new human.
Gross but satisfying.
Like so satisfying, and then you feel more flexible for some reason afterwards. It's great, dude. It's sick. You definitely should look it up for when I match you with a guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a callback for me and Greg.
Yeah.
He's gonna matchmake me.
Yeah, dude. It's a sick place.
Is that the one on Governor's Island?
No, it's in New Jersey. It's in Jersey City or somewhere in Jersey. I don't know.
Romantic.
Yeah, last year.
That's not sarcastic. I think New Jersey is the most romantic place in the world.
Ew, dude. Last year I booked a trip, but then like I messed up on the transportation, and then like she ended up having to like help out the whole time to how to get there, and it just ruined the romanticism of it. And I was like, not this year.
True love at the end of the day is just.
Yeah, but not when it's one. Last night I was with Jack and we were coming home, and she got like really annoying and like about the rats in the street, and I said,
Jaclyn.
Wait, just hear me out, because we'll get there. And I said, you know what? This is the only thing about you that I find annoying is how you deal with rats on the street. And she was like, really? The only thing? And I was like, yeah, why'd you say it like that? And she was like, oh, I have a couple of things.
Yeah.
And then she named the 3 things. 1, I never know where I'm going.
Okay.
Number 2, I forget them.
You know what's funny? I was walking around with her last week. We were walking around after a show, and she also was having a problem with the rats.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually didn't know that about her, but she was really afraid of the rats.
A straight up phobia.
Yeah, she was like, and she told me that one, not to tell your story for you, Jaclyn, but she told me one ran over her foot recently, and that was.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to remember that for the rest of her life.
I mean, that's upsetting.
Dude, get over it. Because I saw a cat, right?
I was like, if you were wearing like an open-toed shoe, I'd be like, yeah,
but it's New York. Who's wearing open-toed shoes in New York?
That's what she said. I said, what shoe were you wearing? And she said I was wearing sneakers.
Right, of course. But we saw a cat, and she thought it was a rat. And I was like, that's only a rat if it was like 9 different rats in a cat costume.
Yeah, it's
and she
two
was
rats
like 9.
on
It's
top of
like
each other.
3 rats. Like, have you ever seen New York Rats? And I'm like, bro, that was a grown cat.
They be big, yeah.
They be big, dog. We're not having 2-3 rats in that.
Do you think you could fight a rat?
Yeah, I think I could eat one.
Ew.
Yeah, and I want to eat one.
You know what I've gotten really into? Pigeons.
Just the flying rats?
Okay, here's the thing about pigeons, Greg. We've wronged them so much.
Oh, I agree. It's
Pigeons?
government officials.
No, pigeons. Pigeons were our friends. Pigeons are domesticated. We, as humans, we like made them our they worked for us. They like carried messages for us. They were companions. And then humans turned their back on them and we just set them out into the wild.
You're right.
And they don't know how to live in the wild without humans.
Well, it's because they're evolutionary. They've evolutionarily changed because of us.
Yes.
We are the only reason they're existing.
Like, they're feral. They're not wild. They're like domesticated cats. When you see them in the street, they're feral. They're not supposed to be wild. And the reason they live in cities is because they don't know how to live without being close to humans.
Of course, but that's because we are the only reason they're alive anymore. Like, they have become the laziest animal. They just eat shit that's already been bought by humans. It's not their fault.
We have to protect them. I want a pet pigeon now.
What about that dude at like Washington Square Park that controls like 50 of them?
Yeah, I think that guy is doing God's work.
I think he is God.
I think he probably is
I don't
God.
think he's doing God's work. I just think he's doing work.
But I'm over the pigeons or the rats of the sky slander. I think we wronged them, and I think they're sweet. And I watched a TikTok.
Oh, wait, guys, hold up. She watched a TikTok.
So, also, which is maybe back. I wonder if it'll be back when this episode comes out.
TikTok's back.
But there's a girl who's like a Soho fashion girl, and she has like an all black pigeon that she just carries around in her purse, and it's like the chicest thing I've ever seen.
She's only doing that for clout, dude.
No, the pigeon like curls up in her bed with her. I love it.
Corny. It's corny. I'm not a huge fan of the people who just use an animal as their clout, unless I have a friend that does it, and he's awesome. You rescued a pigeon? The pigeon's gonna be fine on its own, dude.
No, pigeons live 15 years in captivity, and they only live 2 years in the wild.
What's captivity for a pigeon?
Like as a house pet. Or like in
what pigeon is living?
This girl?
Oh, you're saying. Oh, I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want that though.
The other day I was doing a show and I have a joke about dinosaurs.
Yeah, you do.
And I have a joke that this guy compared me to a brachiosaurus, and that brachiosauruses have the smallest brain of any kind of animal ever. And a woman came
known as a good comparison.
Yeah. And the woman came up to me after and she was like, I didn't laugh at that joke because as the owner of a cockatoo, they have one of the smallest brains, but they're actually one of the most intelligent animals of all time. And you should really think about changing that joke. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
Thank you for your awesome feedback.
I was like, are you insane? It was so weird.
But I like how she had to tell you why she specifically did not laugh. She was like,
the rest of your joke was funny, but I just want you to know that she was like legitimately offended. It was really weird.
It's so weird. Does she bang her cockatoo?
I would be surprised.
I wouldn't.
She's had the cockatoo for 22 years.
Yeah, she's banging the cockatoo. That's like a weird Jerry Springer thing when that dude brought on a horse. Remember that, Will? You don't remember the Jerry Springer episode?
What is he talking about?
You never saw that Jerry Springer episode when the dude brought in I saw the Jerry Springer documentary thing on Netflix.
I've never watched any Jerry Springer.
Me neither, but the documentary was awesome.
Okay, we'll watch it after this.
No, you won't. You're such a scumbag.
Yeah.
Jaime just yawned. We need to get this
into
moving.
it. Will didn't like my stuff about pigeons. Will, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? Okay.
Yeah, don't ask a guy
what
we're doing in 2 weeks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, that's very hard. We'll figure something out.
For Valentine's Day, I'm going to probably do a show and.
Not unless I hook you up.
Oh yeah, no, Greg's gonna get me a boyfriend.
Grace, we're about to have a lot of fun. This episode today is sponsored by yours truly, C4, and it looks like the same one I drank last episode.
No,
but
he does
not.
have
this
two. I'm looking at it. He has a second one. How many C4s can you have in a day?
This is definitely the max, but that one was like half finished already. I'm only doing this for the bit.
Okay, you save them in your fridge and you finish. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They're cans. That's just why I was okay. Are they flat?
No, they don't. They're carbonated, dog. As long as they're not open.
Yeah, but when you have it half open, you're saving it in your fridge. Then it's got to be flat the next day.
It was from last night. It doesn't. The job still gets done.
It's like made of battery acid, so it stays pretty. Fizzly.
Yeah. It actually lights my room sometimes when the electric isn't paid.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to fall in love today?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's fall in love.
This was Jaclyn's idea, and it's sad that she's not here, but she suggested that we should do the 36 questions.
36 questions from New York Times on how to fall in love.
Do you know what's funny? Someone asked me, since now our podcast is out, someone asked me if I was dating you.
Yeah. No, I've had a lot of people be like, great energy between the two of you.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, Jack, watch out, dude. Watch
Someone
out.
asked me, they said, "Oh my God, you guys are dating," and I was like, "Whoa, not even close."
Not even close. All right. I would say you're my girlfriend away from home.
I'm your work wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're work wives.
yeah.
But can I also be your work wife?
Can you be my work wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're my work wife.
Oh,
What did you think I was saying?
you were my work wife.
No, you're my wife. Yeah,
Yeah, like I want to both be. I
Yeah.
want this to be a lesbian thing.
it's lesbian.
All right,
yeah.
six.
And that brings it back to Jaclyn too. Okay, Jaclyn suggested that we should do the New York Times 36 questions to fall in love, which is
36
a
questions.
New York Times, because sometimes we're gonna get in a fight, but today is about love.
Today's about us trying to put those fights aside and fall in love.
Are you familiar with this list before she's
No.
brought it up?
I actually tried bringing it up. Don't have a New York Times subscription, which
That's-
lets me go on, bro. In this economy, open that shit up for free. We need to have people read. You know what I mean?
I pay for a New York Times subscription.
Yeah, because you wear glasses.
Yeah.
Now let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's fall in love.
Okay, basically it's a list that the New York Times came out with that's supposed to be like an accelerated path to like emotional intimacy. So
Let's get emotionally intimate.
oh great, my biggest fear, my number one biggest fear.
Yeah, well, that's
emotional
why
intimacy.
I was super down with this, because I was like, what's funnier than me and the girl who is afraid of love?
I'm not afraid of love. I just don't believe in it.
Yeah, you're afraid of love.
No.
You know what I mean? So
I'm not,
we're gonna.
I'm
try
not
to
afraid
see-
of anything.
We're gonna try to see by the end of this episode if Jamie ever comes back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's question number one?
How many times have you been in love? I'm just curious.
One.
With Jack?
Yeah.
That would be crazy if it was different.
Yeah. One. Yeah.
She's
Jack,
out here.
you.
We did have to tell you something, Jaclyn.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't think
one
you've
time.
been in love? How
No.
many relationships have you been in?
Oh my God. 3?
Okay. And how long were they?
Now is like 2.5 years. The one before this was like almost a year. And the one before that was, I don't count the one from college, even though that was the longest one, probably.
Oh, why don't you count it? You don't have to get into it, but
It was just it was, have your cake and eat it too type of situation.
I don't know what that
It was just like
means.
we were too young and like we dated, but then like it was like we dated in high school, but then like it was senior year and then we both left and like we didn't, like it was just kind of like
okay,
this
yeah, I
weird
see.
thing.
Yeah, you did the like we're gonna
Yeah,
break
keep it
up when we go to
going.
college,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
actually, we have to stay together.
Right, and we played limbo for a little bit. So I would count that, and then I wouldn't count the one between the one before Jaclyn and after my first one, because it was like 6 months.
Do you think you're more of like a relationship person? Like, is your resting state to be in a relationship or to be single?
Unfortunately, I think it's to be in a relationship.
I think it is for you too.
I think it's, and it's
Yeah.
it's such a
I think you're
bad
such a
quality,
No, I
dude.
don't think it's bad.
No, it is. It is. It's not a good quality, because I genuinely should never have been in a relationship prior to Jaclyn.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean,
was.
probably, but like,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting when there's people who like that's their resting state.
Oh,
For me,
yeah.
being in a relationship is the most unnatural thing in the world. The longest relationship I've ever been in, and the only one I've ever been in, was we were dating for 9 months. And we were only official for 6, and I
Yeah.
hated it. Like
Yeah.
it was not a good.
How old were you?
25, 26.
Yeah, it's still like a weird age though too to be.
Yeah, but that was also the first boyfriend I ever had was 25.
Last night I was laying down with Jack, like we were going to sleep, and she
Greg's
said,
probably also sick.
Jack said, yeah. Sorry. Jack also said, I can't wait until we grow up and we can have a TV in our room. And I was like, Jack, I'm almost 30.
That's awesome.
I am almost a 30-year-old
I can't wait till you
man.
grow up too.
Yeah, right? I've been waiting on it. It's funny like growing up, because like I'm just waiting to wake up one day and be like, I'm a grown up.
Yeah, you're not.
But it doesn't work like that, I don't think.
Well, do you feel like a grown up? Yeah.
Well, he's married though.
Yeah, he is.
And that's
married,
what I think it is. Like when you get married, you're like,
no, you
oh,
can be
shit.
a grown up without being married.
Impossible.
I'm like never gonna get married, so I'm like, you can do it.
No, it's possible. You don't need to have like kids or
It's what
like
if I
a
have my own
husband.
apartment? I think.
Yeah.
Without roommates.
Yeah. But in New York, that may come after getting married.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There be married couples who have roommates. That's.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay, so
yeah.
you
got the
do
list
believe
front
in
of me.
love.
Yeah, I believe in love.
Okay.
That would be wild for me to say no.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Jury's still out.
I feel like I'm on like a speed date, but the girl I'm on the speed date with knows I have a girlfriend.
Yes, I do.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's a fun little speed date. There's kind of like no consequences.
There's no. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. Are you ready for the...
Yeah, we
Oh,
just
also
start
this, they
spitfiring.
recommend staring into each other's eyes for the questions. However, I don't want to do that. Because I'm afraid of intimacy. Stop. Greg has a mustache and a beanie, you guys. I can't look him right in
It's
the
not a mustache
eyes.
right now. It's a beard. All right.
Okay. Greg has a beard. Okay, here are some of the questions, and stop me when you find one that you like. This is so scary. If you guys are listening, he's just staring at me.
All right, say the question.
Given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest? Would you like to be famous? If yes, in what way?
That's a crazy question for two people
Obviously,
on a podcast.
Greg
to
is
respond
afraid
to.
of fame. Before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say?
No, never rehearsed anything.
That shows. I've seen you perform. What would constitute...
Wow. Oh my God.
Got him. What would constitute a perfect day for you? When did you last sing to yourself to someone else?
Wait, sing to myself to someone else?
Or to someone else.
Oh.
That's 2 questions.
Okay, fun fact. I sang on a stage 2 days ago.
What'd you sing?
Ordinary People by John Legend. And it wasn't karaoke. We were just at a bar. The show was finished and the mic was still on and there was a piano.
Are you
so
a
I
good
was like,
singer?
let's get weird. No.
Do you sing in the shower?
Yeah.
Do you talk to yourself?
Yeah.
I
I'm
talk
the
to
most
myself all the
interesting
time.
person in the world. Of course I'm talking to myself.
Okay, if you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? So you're living to the age
No,
of...
it's not that I don't understand the question.
For me, I was like, he's not going to get this.
You're like, he doesn't even have the mind of a 30-year-old now.
Yeah.
No, I got the
I was
question.
like, he's got the mind of an
I would just
80-year-old right now.
I would just like to think about it. I would probably say body.
You'd rather retain body? That's crazy.
Bro, I feel like we're sleeping
This
on
one
the
I
body.
actually think
I
I'm
feel like
gonna-
we're
I think
sleeping
this
on the
is the
body,
one,
dude.
yeah.
Because if I can't
No.
get out of bed,
It's not that you're 31 and you immediately have the body of a 90-year-old. It's just you age as a normal
Chris,
guy.
I understand the question.
Okay.
But I'm saying if I'm 90 and I have an awesome mind, who gives a shit if I can't get outside and tell the world about it? I'd rather be a psycho lunatic and be running a marathon like you do
Thanks.
at 90 than if I just had an awesome mind. My mind's not good now. It's not going to be good
You know what?
then.
That's a good point. I think that's why I'm so easy to sell on the body and I'm like, keep the mind.
Yeah. I think it's body all the way.
Wait, I think that's crazy.
Will, what do you think?
What are you
Real
gonna be-
quick, Will.
It's definitely body.
Thank you.
You guys.
Yo, that's awesome. Will was so quiet and then just the shit on you.
I think it's, I mean, do you know anyone with dementia?
It's not that I didn't weigh the pros and cons,
Yeah.
but like I would rather be able to get up, go to places and not be like physically relied on. Because my thing is like the old people who die when they're like the last 15 years of their life, they're just shaking. Those
Yeah.
are the people that everyone's like, I hate my grandpa.
I would so much rather keep my mind and like physically deteriorate. I also think though we've talked about this a million times on the podcast, but I
Yo,
do
your
have a
eye just
disabled.
went on a crazy flicker. It was
Really?
like,
You know, I can.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I cut
Okay.
you off.
Speaking of my body falling apart, I can only see out of one of my eyes. So
Yeah, you're already.
yeah, I'm
falling
already
apart.
there. And also, my brother uses a wheelchair, and I'm like, I would rather if I were him. Like, I'm like, yeah, I would so much rather have physical issues, but have my mind than.
Right, but what we're saying is that's what you're saying. You would rather have a physical disability than a mental disability, which I would agree with.
Yeah.
But that's not the question here.
Oh no, I understand. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. But also, like,
I would of course rather.
up till, you know what it is? I think up till 60, the body of a 30-year-old, way better. Like, but then once you hit like 60s, 70s, and your mind does start to go, it's that last like 20 years where it's like you have the mind of like having the mind of a 90-year-old. No offense to any 90-year-old listeners, we definitely don't have.
No,
But
they'll
like,
be dead by the time this podcast comes out.
like it's not. I just feel like I don't know. I don't think losing your mind seems awful.
None of it's good.
Yeah,
Grace.
I guess
We're
aging
not
seems
like,
bad. Overall, our take is that aging is bad.
Yeah, none of it's good. But by the time, the way I'm seeing it too is like by the time that we're 90, maybe AI is just popping off. You know what I
I
mean?
don't want AI to run my mind. That would suck.
Dude, if I'm 90 years old, I don't give a shit what's running my mind. Let a fucking alien iguana come into my head and start using a joystick to like
Why
move it
him?
around. Because who cares? None of it matters, bro. I'm 90. Just send me out of my misery. I don't want to be 90.
How old do you want to live to?
Like 85.
Okay, so you don't even want to make it
Enough
this
to
far.
see if my kids fucked up.
Okay, yeah,
You
you,
know
want
what
to
I
see
mean?
the final product.
I want to see like if they made my life worth it.
they made your life worth it.
Like,
That's a lot of
like,
pressure.
I'm gonna pop off, right, on
Yeah,
whatever I want to do.
obviously,
Like, no
obviously,
questions,
obviously.
no
Sure,
doubts.
sure.
We're popping off.
Popping
You
off.
know, like, we've already popped out by the time this podcast came
We're
out.
probably famous.
We're super like it's
How many
it's
followers we get?
I
A
like
billion?
thousands, dude.
God.
Selena, watch out. You
Yeah,
know,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
right? But like, I want to also make sure my kids have an easier route to whatever they want to do. And if like they kind of just squandered it, I'm like, just
Yeah, kill
You know,
me.
get me
Yeah,
out.
fuck you guys.
let's move on.
Do you think you'll have kids?
Yeah,
How many?
I don't know, dude. 2. I never thought about.
I'm like,
that
what are you
until
guys doing in
asked
2
me.
weeks?
Yeah, I think Jack would want kids, so like eventually, but it would have to
I mean,
be.
she's not even here to defend
It would
herself.
have to be older in life. No, she does. She wants kids. But it has to be older in life. I'm not going to be popping them out when I'm 30.
I don't think you're gonna be popping them out.
Mm,
All right, technology.
it's going to be some seahorse type shit.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
You need the body of a 30-year-old for
Yeah, there
sure
we go.
to do
There-
that.
yeah.
That's
Will,
I
do you
guess,
want to have
yeah.
kids? For the viewer and listener, Will just shook his head no.
Will has about 18 different cats, right?
My wife doesn't want kids either.
That's a
He
keeper.
didn't address the cat.
No, he
comment.
didn't. How many cats do you have, Will?
2 inside, like 5 to 7 outside.
5, 2, 7? You might be the only dude I've ever met that doesn't know how many cats they have.
No, it's a rotating cast of cats.
I
Yeah.
stay in my backyard like every day, but then like
Because they saw that viral video and they're like, yo, maybe we'll get famous one day.
Yeah. Will has a viral video of a cat smoking a joint sitting in the sun.
300 million views. 300
There's like a
million
roach
views.
next to it, so we know.
That was actually how he introduced himself to me. When like
Really?
his first night, and we went to the bar and I was like, yo, you remind me of this other guy. And he was like, yeah, does this other guy have a video that went 300 million views?
Is it 300 million views?
100 million.
No, it's 303 million views. I just saw it, dude.
I'm pretty sure it's not. It's 100.
I'm pretty sure Will knows.
Oh, yeah. He said 100. I'd say 300. What's the difference?
When did you post that?
2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Did anyone, have you ever been recognized outside of,
No.
I guess because your face isn't in it.
Me, no. But if I ever have a conversation about it and I show them the video, the amount of time.
Which is every conversation. You know Will's.
Yeah.
He Will opened every conversation with, yo, you may know me from my famous.
Make sure you check out Will's viral video of a cat.
Get it to
He's-
300 million
He's on
views for me.
Instagram. It's 3 words. I'm Will Bryant.
I'm Will Bryant.
Bryant.
A-N-T. Wait, so people have been like, oh, I've seen that.
Very more often than not, someone's like, "Oh, I've seen this video. That's you."
How does that make you feel?
I don't really care.
God, you're so humble.
Did you?
The saddest thought I allow myself to have about it is I've peaked in life.
I will say that is
Wow.
nothing you ever do could go that viral just because it's a cat video.
Good for
Like-
Will for really bringing this episode down.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking about how we want to die.
Yeah. Now we're talking about how we haven't peaked yet.
Yeah.
Comedy special, no song will ever.
You can't compete with a cat though. It's just not.
Unless you get that cat to appear on the podcast.
It's such a mega
Is that
viral
podcast
cat
still
video
alive?
too.
No, not that podcast. Is that cat still alive?
I hope so.
Someone took it.
What?
Did you film that at your house?
Yo, you think the cat has like Munchausen's by proxy now? Like someone Gypsy Rose that cat?
I hope it's all right.
I hope the cat's good.
I
the
hope
cat
that
is
cat's
one
good,
of
bro.
America's
Yo,
most famous cats.
If that cat's watching right now,
yeah.
reach out.
Yeah.
Let
come
me
back,
reunite you with
Come
your
back
home.
and be on the pod. It's
Come out on the pod.
it's
We'll get you a joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
That cat
Will,
was sick,
and Will
though.
also has a turtle. And I'm
And what's that turtle's name?
Forky.
Forky. So if you like animals, come
Go to
over
Will's
to Will's
apartment.
Zoo.
It's really cool.
It's the only zoo free in New York City.
And that's why he doesn't need to have kids. They
Right.
have so many other. Okay, well, I think we didn't agree on that one. Do you have a secret hunch about how you're gonna die?
I think realistically, it's probably not going to be great.
Yeah.
But like, I hope to just die in my sleep one day. There's something,
yeah,
just something
that's
chilling.
kind of the goal.
You know, I hope. But my thing is like the only like, and this is gonna bring this episode down.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this.
I'm the youngest in my family.
don't want
by
Greg
a
to
lot,
die.
So I don't like. I'm gonna eventually see everyone in my family die first.
Not necessarily, but yeah.
Whoa,
I mean, it's just not necessarily.
yo, Melly family. She didn't mean that.
It could happen.
Yeah, it could.
I
yeah,
could
but
kill you.
so it is kind of like, you know, I kind of think of that. But I'm like, I don't know how you feel about this, but I am not worried about what happens when I die.
I'm just a little worried about what happens to my body. I just want to be buried in like I don't want them to do anything to me. I don't know.
What do you think they're gonna do to
They
you?
do. I had to read an essay when I was in school that was about the embalming process, and I found it very upsetting.
Wait, what is the embalming process?
It's like they like pump out all your blood and they fill you with like formaldehyde and shit. And I was
Who
just
gives
like,
a fuck?
I think it's a waste of time and resources.
So get
I think
cremated.
it's bad for the environment. Cremation's also bad for the environment.
Who gives a shit? You're
I
dead.
do. I don't want my last act to be, oh yeah, now I'm gonna go pollute shit.
Bro, people
Speaking
are
of
dying
having
every 8
kids, you don't
seconds.
want. I know. That's why just put me in the ground. Just put me in a little tree sack and put me in the ground.
You want to be in a tree sack?
I want to be in a
You
tree
should
sack.
have opened the tree sack.
Have you ever seen this?
No.
It's a
And then,
tree
like, they
with
plant
a
a
with
tree
a
over top
with
of
a
you.
like a hemp like bulb in the bottom,
Why?
and you just go in it and they just bury you in the ground. And I don't like that if there's open casket, they put makeup on you. I've talked about this before on our podcast, actually. I don't want them to be doing my makeup
So put
when
that
I'm
in the will.
dead. Well, I don't have a will. I don't have any possessions. So that's why I'm saying it on my podcast. If I die, 1, investigate Greg. 2,
Good call, dude. Because I was gonna totally be the one, but now I
Yes.
can't.
yeah,
you
no,
know?
now I'm safe. 2, put me in just a tree sack. I don't.
You came from balls. You want to go right back into them.
branded tree sack TM, my new business.
Wait, Will, how do you want to go out? Not like how to die, but like in what way? Like, do you want to get cremated or do you want to be?
Whatever is less expensive to whoever's left in charge.
See, that's a
That's a
man.
good-
That's a fucking man, right
Grave
there.
is expensive. Cremation is expensive. They're all expensive. That's why I'm like, just throw me in. Burial at sea.
Because if I'll have life insurance by then, and I'd rather the payout be for other shit than
Yeah, that makes sense.
$10,000 funeral.
It's and it's more. It's like 30.
Yo, if I have my funeral and you guys are still alive, come and roast me.
Oh yeah, I would totally.
Yeah, I want to make it funny.
I'm gonna wear my.
I don't want to go sad.
I was gonna say I'm gonna wear the shirt you wore in the episode. But it's and then I was like, no, just kidding.
You and your old saggy
That'd be
boobs.
really graphic.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Yeah. But you don't think about how you're gonna die. It's just in your sleep.
Yeah, I don't particularly like, as long as it's not on a plane.
You wouldn't die on a hill.
Hey. Boo.
That's so much better than what we
No.
said. You don't like it?
No, I didn't.
You don't like it because he thought of it, or because
No, it's too much of a pun.
I kind of liked it? Yeah, with a bobcat maybe.
Yeah.
All right, hit me with the next question.
Name
I
3
feel like
things.
we're not falling in love.
No.
Fuck.
I'm falling into hate with you. 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. That would be us.
I was gonna say you're
Yeah.
my partner for this
Yeah, yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
Okay, we both have red hair.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say we both have red hair. Show them what your hair looks like. It's brown. That's not the same color.
It's called shades of
That's
red. 50
not-
shades of red.
You have just brown hair.
Just brown?
Just brown.
Maybe it's just
brown for men.
Just brown for men.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we have in common? We both have a podcast.
We are on the same podcast.
God, this is bad.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
We both do comedy.
It's like
and-
2 truths and a lie. This one you're gonna get really emo. For what in your life do you feel the most grateful? Greg loves to be on this podcast and be like, I just realized I have all these friends who like love me and support me. You do.
I did do that.
Yeah.
I did do that. I think my most grateful thing is that I chose me.
See, it's so
It's not douchey if you think about it, because
it's not
look, like,
douchey, but it's like
look, I have a theory that I'm starting to work on a little bit. I don't know if I've said this previously.
Greg
but
has a theory.
Everybody wants to do art in a sense, right? And like everybody wants to be a part of something, and it's like shout out to those who actually understand how hard it's going to be and choose to just follow that shit anyway.
Okay, so you're grateful for yourself for following your dreams,
Yeah,
betting on
I'm
yourself.
just grateful for like jumping.
I kind of get that.
For jumping. Like I
Yeah.
jumped to New York, I jumped to do comedy, and like I jumped to do different things.
I have a new hunch about how he's gonna die. It's
Jumping? Oh, what about you?
I am most grateful for, I mean, probably like my family.
Oh my god, dude, that's so overplayed.
Sorry.
Like, yeah, my family too, but
My
now I
family
look like a
comments
dick
on our
because you
video.
said it.
Yeah, I know. I knew
I
it would
know.
make you look like a dick.
Yeah, your family does. Somebody like reached out on the comment and was like, what did they say? They said
My
something.
aunt commented on the video of me being pretentious, and she was like, it's me being like, I just think I'm smarter and better than other people. And my aunt comments, she goes, you are smarter and better than other
Yeah,
people. And
and-
Greg was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was like, who are these clowns?
I was like, this is why I'm like this. Okay, speaking of family, if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
That is a good flavor. Never had that one.
C4.
C4. Sponsored C4. How I would how I was raised.
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty great job. Like really shout out, because like honestly, like hear me out. Like my relationship with my parents is great. Like I love them, but I never talk to them about things that matter. And I don't mean that of like we just small talk, but like when I want to open up and talk about feelings or how like my life's going, I've never gone to them because they're so much older than me that like there is kind of like at least it may not be even true, but like I have like this predisposed, maybe there's judgment there. So I've always gone to my brother. Like my brother really raised me.
How much older is
too.
your brother?
He's my closest sibling, and he is 11 years older than me.
Holy shit, that is such a big age gap.
Yeah, big age gap. So it's like me and him are very, tight.
And he's your closest sibling?
Yeah.
I guess I knew that, but that's crazy.
It's like we get the light on a podcast.
I know. Did you see how I pointed at
Yeah,
it?
I was like that.
Well, it
Yeah.
just gave us a 30-minute mark, and I was pointing like I was on stage.
We're like, heard that? Heard that? We need our closing 15-minute joke. He's my closest sibling. My oldest sibling is, I think, 43 or 44. 44, I think. Which is crazy because Jaclyn's roommate, their parents just celebrated their 50th birthday. And I was like, bro, that's like my sister.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
My parents are 58.
Even that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
I
mean?
have a sibling where I have a 9-year age gap with him, but he's 9 years younger. And there's 2 in between.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, my sister is 44. She was born in 1980.
That's so crazy. My parents were born in 67. So my parents are 13 years older than your sister.
Yeah, dude. My parents were born in
My parents are closer in
1954.
age to your... No, they're equally between them. They're 13 years older than... My parents are 13 years younger than your parents and 13 years older than your sister.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your parents are closer in age to my sister
This
than
is
I
such
am.
a stupid conversation.
Because my sister's 17 years older than me.
Let's do all the math of every age gap.
Wait,
you
I was trying to work on this bit. I haven't said it out loud yet, but I wrote it down. I was like, my grandma, who would be like 100 now. She was born in like the 20s. She was racist.
What?
Yeah. but like
A racist
my
grandma?
thing is like, you ever realize like
Greg,
wait, you ever like realize when grandparents are talking and they tell you a story, they always tell you the race of the person in the story
yes.
first.
I have a bit about this as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now mine's gonna have to be funnier.
Yeah, tell me it.
But so my grandma would always be like, "Oh, like Black Susie is coming over, like Black Susie who is black," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"You
my
don't have
grandma
to
talks
whisper
like
it.
this,
You don't
yeah.
have to do that." Like, and like Susie was her nurse, like her home care nurse, and all I could think of was like, how hard of it was it for like Susie, who like her main job is to keep this old racist white woman alive.
Yeah.
Like you don't think she was ever hand on the plug, like, you know what?
Yeah, this bitch.
Fuck it, I do have a dream, and just
Yeah.
pop it out. And like, and all I'm saying is, I'm no better. Susie's way better than me. I would have thought about it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't,
Oh,
think
I thought you were
about it,
saying you were no better than your grandma. Like
oh,
you were like,
no, my grandma.
you were like, yeah,
was-
my friend Will, who's Hispanic. Like you're like, I have to.
He's my one brown friend. No,
Yeah.
I'm much better than my grandma, but that's like what changed. I hope my grandkids are like, yeah, I'm way better than my grandpa.
Your grandkids definitely will be better than
Oh,
than you.
okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My lineage. I just find it to be like, that was her job, dude. Her job was to keep this old, arrogant white woman alive.
My grandma does the same thing where she brings up everyone's race in a conversation. And it's just how she differentiates people who she sees on TV. She watches Fox News
Oh yeah, of course.
for 30 hours a day. I don't even know how,
Whoa,
but
she's
does.
adding a couple of
She
hours in the
does.
day. Good for
I
her.
think she finds time in there to watch extra.
She got 2 TVs going on.
Yeah, it's wild. But she'll be like, well, so-and-so, who's the Jewish one on Fox News. Or that she'll be like, so-and-so, that's the black woman. And it's just every person she has to be. But yeah,
It makes me think like, what are our grandkids gonna say that was bad about us?
so much. Oh my God.
What do you think is gonna age out?
I mean, specifically, I actually think we're gonna come back around to being.
I do too.
Like, I think right now we're already
I
in
think
more
we're
of a
kinda
like you
coming
can
back
say. You can't say anything these days. I'm like, I actually feel like you can say a lot
It's
more
way
stuff.
easier now than
Yeah.
it was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which sounds like it sounds like I'm being like, thank God we're back, but like. Some of it, there was like, I do this show that I would describe the audience sometimes as like 2018 liberal, where like they're so tight that you can't make jokes about. It's my friend that I open for, and sometimes her audience is just a little like.
But like, where are those shows?
They're in New York.
That's the thing, bro. New York, I've realized, ever since going on tour.
Yeah.
No, ever since going out to
No,
the
but
middle
even,
of the country. We live in a bubble, dude.
But
New York is
certain-
not America.
But even some New York, I find these jokes work totally fine.
Yeah, Staten Island.
It's just this. No, but even like regular Brooklyn, I think these cheap people, they're not a real comedy audience.
Yeah.
This is when I opened for Psychic Medium.
Okay.
It's just not as much of a comedy audience. They're more of like a spiritual audience. And I think they get really nervous that I'm going to say like something offensive. But I'm usually not.
I'll say that I haven't really done comedy in a lot of different places. I've done it in Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Portugal.
One of these things, it's like the names of the Pac-Man characters where they like have all their names, then it's like, and Sue. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, one is not like the other.
one of these is different.
It's like two truths and a lie, but the lie is actually the truth.
Yeah.
And I'll say that all of those places loved the less PC shit. It's New York City is the hardest place to be great.
But I think some people in New York, they
I don't
know
wanna
you're
say
not
that,
going to be
though.
actually offensive. I don't think that's necessarily true.
I think the intelligence level in New York is definitely high for the most part, but like there are those crowds in Brooklyn.
No, you're here, but
when
yeah.
you're doing a mic and they're
Well, a
like they're
mic's
gonna
different.
get offended. No, I know,
Yeah.
but like Brooklyn and Manhattan are entirely different as
Yeah,
entities
I
on their
agree.
own.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, so you wouldn't change anything about the way you were raised.
No, I don't think so. Maybe if like someone was a little bit taller in my family, so I could come out maybe 6 foot.
I agree with that. For
You know,
yeah.
just to have a little bit longer of a baseball career or a basketball career.
yeah,
Cause like we could have played a couple extra years if I was just a little taller.
just a little bit.
Just to give me a little
Just
bit.
3 inches.
Yeah.
Come on.
3
A little
inches,
extra
dude.
wingspan.
Oh, don't talk about the wingspan.
Yeah.
The wingspan would have been nasty, dude.
That
If
would've
I'm
been
just all arms,
Crazy.
bro, I would have been pinning dudes up against the backboard.
Okay, so the thing about these questions is they come in sets of 12. So we're almost done with set 1, and I think then we can call it.
All
I'm
right.
going to read you the rest of set 1.
Okay.
Just 2 more. I don't think we should do this one, but take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I don't want to do that one.
I don't want to get to know you at all.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Can you answer first so I can think about it?
This is hard. Quality or ability that I can wake up with tomorrow?
I'm such a nerd that I was like, the ability to fly.
That's what I was thinking. Because I'm kind of like, if you go with like better at numbers, it's like, how fucking lame is
I
that?
want to make fun of you. I want to make fun of
No,
you.
that's
but,
the right answer.
but the answer I had in my head was to dunk. And what is dunking if not flying?
Will could dunk so much better than
I
you
know.
if he could fly.
Yeah, that would be wild. You could have 3-point dunks.
If I wake up tomorrow with any one ability, I was gonna pick something like predict the future so I can rig the stock market in my favor. But then I'm like, that's so fucking lame. Like,
Nah, dude, it's not.
but fly is sick.
I'm imagining like we both like are put in a room.
Yeah.
And they say when you wake up tomorrow, you'll have the one thing. You
Yeah.
Want. And like I come out with like flying, you come out with like time travel.
Greg
and
predicts
Greg's like, I can.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you're flying.
Greg's like, I'm 6'2".
I'm like, yo, who's trying to have some pickup? Who wants to play a game of pickup? I got a surprise for
Will
you.
and I are like, we're busy.
Bro, your guys' skills are good all year round. Mine's good 3 months of the year. Like only when it's warm outside.
And it's like, yeah, Will comes out. Greg and I are like, me and Will are like, this is sick. We're gonna save New York. Like, we're gonna like be superheroes now.
Heroes and billionaires.
And Greg's like,
Really good at.
Greg's like, yo, I know how to dunk.
Not even good basketball player though.
Yeah.
He would keep trying to show it off
Just
too.
dunking.
He'd be like, you guys want to play some pickup? Like, I'm really good.
Yeah, I would be
We'd be like,
really
we're
annoying
busy.
about it. It was my whole Instagram would just be clips of me
It
dunking.
would be so much of you too, just being like trying to convince us that you know immediately that you fucked up, but you'd still be trying to convince us.
No,
like,
it's worth it.
No,
It's
no,
worth
dunking
it.
was
It's
a
worth
good
it. It was, no,
call.
yeah. You guys are jealous.
Definitely was to dunk.
Meanwhile, Will's just flying up. Nah, it's just lame, dude. That's
Yeah,
overplayed.
yeah,
but like
that's-
dunking,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
called the
yeah.
Grace Lobo Court because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
owns all
Yeah.
the money in the world. And I'm like, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
who's dunking? Who's bringing the people in the
Yeah.
stands? Yeah, I would definitely.
I actually don't know if I'd want predict the future. That it sounds too like easy.
like my
almost.
thing is, if I had a genie, I would blow those wishes
I
so
know
badly.
I would blow the genie. Yeah.
I would suck the genie.
I'm getting more wishes. I know they say that's against the rules.
He was like, wait, but that was my wish. I would make terrible impulse.
What would your 3
decisions.
wishes be?
I would.
Number 1, dunk.
It had to be dunked.
Number 2, be 6
Like
foot.
my thing would be like I would make 3 wishes that could just be 1 wish. Like I'd be like, yo, make sure I can dunk and I could dribble really well, and then like also like I had a nice jump shot. And the guy's like, you could have just said
Good
good
at
at
basketball.
basketball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. What about 3 more wishes? That's what would happen. No, I would be like money.
Would your wishes be basketball related?
No.
Okay.
No. I would have to do something like financially.
I would do financial as well.
Because,
I
like,
hate it, but I
Yeah,
would.
me too. I don't even want to have money, but like I
No, I don't want to worry
don't
about
love
it though.
debt.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a beautiful thing to be in.
What?
Especially when you look at it and you're like, it's just never gonna go away. I think this is just a part of my life
Are you
now.
in a lot of debt?
Dude, come on. What do we know about a lot of debt?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But don't worry, I'm gonna go to Peru in a couple of months and just
Spend more money.
yeah. But if that genie came along,
what
you're gonna see me in
currency-
thrift shops just rubbing all the
What
bottles,
currency?
just
Is
hoping
it
something.
soul
It's soul.
something?
Yeah, it's soul.
That's why I'm pretentious. I knew that off the dome. It
No,
was
why
soul.
you're pretentious is your reaction to it.
No,
It's one thing to know
I think
it.
it's cool that I knew the currency of Peru off.
Yeah,
off
super
the top
cool.
of my head.
You know, super cool. A little Machu Picchu action.
Genius.
I don't know, like super abilities though. Like flying would be cool just to save money on flights.
The thing is, would you be like, I think you'd have to be weird about the fact you can fly. Like, it's almost like you can't have people know.
No, I would. Bro, my Instagram would be 1 billion followers,
I feel like
which just is money.
again, that's also I like that. That's where you go. You're like,
Yeah, dude.
I want to be able to dunk and then
I wanna be
flying,
famous AF,
which
dog.
gets me followers on Instagram. I don't know. I think like flying, like if I was just like hanging out at a party and I was like, oh, it's late, like I got a jet, and then I'm like gonna
Literally.
fly home,
You
and
literally
it's
got
like,
a jet.
but then it's like weird that I fly home, and it's like
Maybe your second wish is invisibility,
oh maybe
but that can get creepy.
yeah.
Like a guy can't say invisibility.
Okay, what about this? So this is an Anna-ism, but would you want to know? There's a book every day that everything anyone says about you gets written in the book.
No, I don't
everything good, everything
No.
bad. Do you read the book or no?
No, I don't care. I don't read to begin with.
Yeah, I know this is about you.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's
Would you
pictures.
read it?
It's pictures.
Oh, I would read it.
It's a
I would
video.
watch it.
It's TikToks of people every conversation they had about Greg Melly.
No, that would be a lot of TikToks.
You think people are talking about you that
Yeah.
much? It's because our pod's blown up.
It's because the fame.
Well, would you want to know what people are saying about you? Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I'm on the fence because sometimes when
You're
someone
worried.
says something nice to you, it does feel good. Or like when you know someone was like, "Oh, I was talking about you." Like,
That's true. I
it
think
feels really
a little
good.
inspiration action.
like I think sometimes, but I think that at a certain point, it would eventually. Sometimes that's meant to be. I don't think I'd read it. No. Now
I
that we're
also
talking
think
about
you would have no friends if
'Cause-
you knew,
it.
because
Well, they
like,
wouldn't know. You know.
but you know, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't. You would be looking at people differently.
But I would want to know who has a crush on me.
Grace, we're grown ups, dude.
I
Just go
don't-
out and get what you want.
No, you need to know who has a secret crush. How many? Also, now that our podcast is out, some of the views, I'm
Yo,
like,
yeah, who's secret
I'm like,
crushing
who
on
has a
Grace?
secret crush on us?
You know, who's liking us? Who's
Yeah.
who's
Who's
sliding
watching it?
into-
That's like other people I know have made podcasts where I've been like, how do I listen to this secretly? Because something happened to a girl that I know where she listened to someone's podcast and somehow it like showed the person whose podcast it was that she listened. I don't know how this happened.
And are they married?
No, she was his ex.
Then who
Like her
cares?
ex-boyfriend made a podcast, she listened, and the podcast had like no listeners.
Oh, that's
relatable.
weird.
And
Not
it
relatable,
was,
bro. We're blown up.
it was like she like listened to the podcast and they were like, oh, shout out to like our only listener. Like
That's weird,
we know
bro.
it's
Don't
you.
have a podcast if
And
you're
she was
shouting out the only
listening
listener.
and heard her name and she was like, fuck.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I've definitely if I had
And then they lost.
if I had a
100%
crush on
viewership.
someone, I would listen to their podcast.
Is that why you listen to podcasts all day long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a crush on the New York Times and
Yeah. If
This American Life.
if you're crushing on Grace, let us know.
Yeah,
That'd be
please someone
fun.
have a crush on me. It would be
Please.
fun.
It could
Okay,
make our
that's
matchmaking.
That's set one of the questions. We can't get into more on this one, but
I
there's
don't think they want us to get into more.
I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
for when we want to fall more than one
maybe
third.
should we read the poem?
Oh, your poem?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So well, first we have to establish, did you fall in love with me at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence.
But You let me talk a lot, so yeah, I'm in love. Isn't
Yeah.
that so funny when like dates, like there's like a guy and a girl, and the guy's like, "Oh my god, it was such a good
Yeah,
first
it's
date,"
so funny.
and
I
it's
love
like
it.
because he talked 100% of the time, and I'm like, yeah, because you don't know anything about the person. Like
Yeah.
she hates you because you just explained nothing.
Do you know what's? Every time I've ever gone on a date with someone, I've been like, the only thing I think about is if they like me. I don't think about if I
Yeah,
like
you
them
need
at
to
all.
get out of your head, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's
What's the time? What do we got? Do we have enough for an apology? Or
Yeah,
should I
let's
just
apologize.
rip this
Oh
poem
yeah,
real
well, okay.
quick?
So we just wanted to say we had an episode where Greg talked about writing poetry. I said if this comment on the video gets 1 like, Greg will
That's how
share
low-
one of his poems.
That's how our podcast is doing. If
It
someone
got
sees
two. It
this
got
comment,
2 likes.
Oh really? Did I like it?
I think Jack liked it.
Oh my god.
So
she
Greg
set
wrote
me
a
up.
Greg wrote a poem.
Did I send it to?
No, you sent it to me and Jack.
Okay, let me get this up real quick.
No, it's not in that chat. It's just to me and Jack.
Okay, God. You know what? I'm not in love with you
Now we're
anymore.
at 45.
Yo,
Yeah.
Grace, start apologizing.
Okay, who do I need to apologize to? I'd like to apologize to. I actually don't know who. Did we say?
Wait, I
anything
miss
offensive?
Jamie.
I miss Jamie too.
Will, do you think Grace has to apologize for anything?
Somebody has to apologize to rats or pigeons. Apologize.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to the rat community on behalf of Jamie, our producer, and Bigot.
Whoa,
Just kidding.
whoa.
She's anti-rat.
She is right now in bed, sick, and Grace is out here.
I
blasting her down.
love her. I don't really think she's a bigot, but I did walk around in the way she talked about rats was, she's very anti them. They were just vibing.
I apologize for Grace. And
I
now let
apologize.
me-
You know what? Now I apologize back to Jamie.
I want everybody in here, just if viewers and listeners, let me just get you to a point right now. You sit back, relax, and let me read you.
I want to
this poem.
apologize for what's happening now.
Oh, but it's cool when you do ASMR.
That's just how I talk.
That's just how I talk. Okay. This is called Note to Self from 2021 when Greg had it in his
So yeah, this
his
is
bio.
Greg's poem that he's gonna share.
This whole time I felt suffocated by the shackles I restrained myself with. A timeline, an expectation, a chokehold, dying for a breath of fresh air. Allow yourself to open up. Bad art means an artist is growing. Do not compare your work to those of masters, for they are on a different journey. Your journey belongs to you, and embrace it. Minimal growth is important growth. Trust yourself and your journey. Allow the universe to speak to you. Don't be afraid to fail. Be resilient. Don't worry, guys. I have one more stanza because
Okay.
that's how we say
Yeah.
it in the poem.
Yeah, in
community.
the poetry biz.
You are a flower. Allow your dirty brown roots to grow. Don't cut your stem because you feel as if you may never bloom. But feed yourself. Watch your flower grow and allow your petals to shine. For the beauty is not in the outcome, but the journey. And may I add that Grace, only thing she sent back to me when I sent that to her was that I misspelled the word petals.
He spelled it like on a bike.